Hi, my name is Christine, and every day I am reading the Constitution of the United States and giving my take on what it means. I've trying to look things up so that I have uh, the facts straight. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you can leave a comment or you can look it up yourself because it's a lot. It's a real lot. And I'm just trying to read this document because I feel it's really important for people to understand that we are 250 years old and we have this wonderful document. And people don't know that much about it. So we left off with Article 1, Section 4, and I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to say what it means. The next one says, the times, places, and manners of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof, but the Congress may any time by law make or alter any such regulations except as to the places of choosing senators. So basically, the states are the ones who set up their elections. The United States as a whole doesn't set up the election. Each state sets up their own elections. And Congress can make laws that can alter some things, meaning like this is the Constitution, and if this was altered in some way, then those alterations would could affect how elections might be done. Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meetings shall be on the first Monday in December, unless they shall by law appoint a different day. So that, of course, has been changed. They have to meet at least once a year, but it's, they have sessions, and if you want to know if Congress is in session, if the House is in session, if the Senate's in session, you can go online and you can look all that up, because it changes, and they change it, and it's just saying that you have to meet at least once a year, please. Okay, Section 5. Each house shall be the judge of the elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members, and a majority of each shall constitute a quorum to do business. But a smaller number may adjourn from day to day and may be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members in such manner and under such penalties as each house may provide. So that just basically says that the House and the Senate can get together. They can talk all they want about things, but they cannot vote unless they have a quorum, which is at least half of the people. I have no idea what the laws are now, because they get to choose. And that's the other thing they say. You get to make up your laws, and you get to choose how you want your house to be run. Each house may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and with the concurrence of 2/3 expel a member. So if you're not behaving properly, the house that you're in, the Senate or the House of Representatives, they can call you out for behaving poorly. And if 2/3 of the people think you've been behaving poorly enough, they can throw you out. Each house shall keep a journal of its proceedings, and from time to time publish the same, excepting such parts it may in their judgment require secrecy. And the yeas and nays of the members of each house or any question shall, at the desire of 1/5 of those present, be entered into the journal. So those documents are available online right now for most things. Yes, we have privacy. We have to have privacy in some things, but basically you can find out how your senator or your representative have voted, and you still can. Neither house during the session of Congress shall, without the consent of the others, adjourn for more than 3 days, not to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting. basically says that when you're in session, you're in session. You have to be there. I mean, I guess if you're sick and you can't make it, but you're there. You're elected to do a job, and you're expected to do the job and show up when you're supposed to show up. Yes, there are times when people leave. Yes, there's been some, kind of crazy things going on where everybody just leaves so they can't have a vote, but they're not supposed to do that. And you also heard that when they en masse left, they were told to come back, and sometimes had people going after them to try and get them to come back. So your job is your job. The senators and representatives shall receive a compensation for their services, to be ascertained by law and paid out of the Treasury of the United States. They shall in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of the peace be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of the respective houses and in going to and returning from the same, and for any speech or debate in either house they shall not be questioned in any other place. So they get paid through the Treasury, and then they talk about except in cases of treason, felony, and breach of the peace, they can't be arrested while they're in attendance of their sessions, and if they're going to or from the sessions. So I guess if you want to arrest them, you have to wait till they get back home. No senator or representative shall, during the time for which he is elected, be appointed to any other civil office under the authority of the United States. So you can't double dip. Either you're a senator or representative or you're not, and that is why if you're running for Congress, you quit. If you're a mayor, you can't be a mayor. Like you have to quit being a mayor. You have to quit being the governor. You have to choose which office you're going to run for. You can't hold two offices at the same time. Which shall have been created, or the emoluments whereof shall have been increased during such time, and no person holding any office under the United States shall be a member of either house during his continuance in office. So it's just saying that you can only hold one office at a time. You have to choose which office you're going to be a part of. Section 7. All bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills. So all revenue raising bills come from the House. So if you want to blame anybody for your taxes being raised, it's the House. Every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate shall, before it becomes a law, be presented to the President of the United States. If he approve, he shall sign it, but if not, he shall return it, with his objections, to that house in which it shall have originated, who shall enter the objections at large or their journal and proceed to reconsider it. If after such reconsideration 2/3 of that house shall agree to pass the bill, it shall be sent together with the objections to the other house, by which it shall likewise be reconsidered, and if approval by 2/3 of that house, it shall become a law. But in all such cases, the votes of both houses shall be determined by yeas and nays, and the names of the persons voting for and against the bill shall be entered on the journal of each house respectively. If any bill not be returned by the President within 10 days, Sunday excepted, after it shall have been presented to him, the same shall be a law, in like manner as if he had signed it, unless the Congress by their adjournment prevents its return, in which case it shall not be law. Wow, that's a lot of words. So, either the House or the Senate proposes a bill. They both like it. They send it to the president. The president says, yay, yeah, I like that. And he signs it. And it's law. Or the president goes, I don't like that. So it goes back. And this time, if the House and the Senate both pass it by 2/3 of their vote, of their membership, it will become a law. If they send it to the president and the president doesn't do anything, and 10 days have passed except for Sundays, it becomes a law, even though he hasn't signed it. And if they put up a law and then they adjourn before it's signed into law, it doesn't become a law. Every order, resolution, or vote to which the concurrence of the Senate and House of Representatives may be necessary, except on a question of adjournment, shall be presented to the President of the United States, and before the same shall take effect, shall be approved by him, or being disapproved by him, shall be repassed by 2/3 of the Senate and House of Representatives, according to the rules and limitations prescribed in the case of a bill. Well, that's basically saying the same thing. And, oh, yes, and everything is recorded. All the yeas and nays are recorded. But it's just saying that if 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate agree, or at least 2/3 agree, it becomes a law. Section 8. The Congress shall have, well, maybe I don't want to do 8. 8's really long. I think we're going to stop there because it's already at 12 minutes, and the one before this was kind of long, and so we'll just come back because 8's really long, and I'd like to do just 8 tomorrow, so we'll do 8 tomorrow, and I don't know if we'll get through 9 and 10 tomorrow too. But thank you so much for listening. I hope you were learning something about our Constitution and trying to understand law a little bit better. And I am not a lawyer. I am not a historian. I'm just a person who thinks that we should be thinking more about the document and what it means to us, and celebrating our 250th anniversary. Forget about all of the political crap that's going on right now, and the infighting and all of that. We don't want to talk about that here. We're not talking about that at all. What we're talking about is the fact that even though that's happening right now, and even though we've had a couple other times in the United States where people were having a really hard time agreeing on stuff, or they're equally divided on stuff, which is when it causes the most trouble. We still have our Constitution, and we are still here. And even though people are pushing against some of the boundaries that are set, it's okay. This document was set up for that, and for us to try and figure out what we still believe in. And I still believe in our country, and I still believe that our document's holding up. So thank you again, and you can like and follow and leave messages, and I will read them. Thanks again. Bye.